First order of business, Mr. Secretary, would you please take a verbal attendance of the Board of Commissioners for the record?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. Michael D.
Here.
Randy Attia. Charles Fisher.
I'm here.
Free Warren.
Here.
Thomas Sloniker here. Joseph Marks Jr. Joseph Marks Jr. Here. And President Ginder.
Here.
Everyone's here.
Okay, next we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag, followed by we're going to give a moment of thanks to those serving in the armed forces, especially those serving in harm's way this evening. Also, first responders, police and fire personnel, healthcare workers, grocery and food chain workers, municipal workers and staff, serving our community and country through this difficult time. Let us keep them, everybody, in our minds. I pledge allegiance to the flag,
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands,
one nation,
under God, indivisible, with liberty
and justice for all. Whitehall Township has an obligation to firmly further fair housing and review all land use applications in accordance with federal civil rights statutes. This includes taking meaningful actions that overcome patterns of segregation and foster inclusive communities free from barriers that restrict access to opportunity based on protected characteristics. The township, in its land use decisions, does not discriminate against persons based on race, color, natural origin, religion, sex, disability, or familial status, and reviews all land use applications in accordance with federal civil rights statutes. Public comments made on the basis of bias and stereotype concerning people within these protected classes will not be taken into consideration by the township in its deliberations. Do I have an approval of the minutes? Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Chuck, Charles.
Do I have a second?
I'll second D.
Mr. Secretary, please poll the board.
Commissioner Fisher. Commissioner D.
Aye.
Commissioner Attia. Commissioner Attia. I can hardly hear you, Randy. You have to speak up.
Yes.
Commissioner Warren.
Aye.
Commissioner Sloniker. Aye. Commissioner Marks.
Yes.
And President Ginder.
Yes.
Motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays.
Mr. Secretary, would you please check for courtesy of the floor?
I have nothing here to check, so I don't know.
Zach, is there anybody in the chat bin or anybody there for public comment on courtesy of the floor?
Lorianne has her hand raised, so I'll unmute her now.
Hi, can you all hear me okay?
Yes, name and address.
Okay. Lorianne Fainal, 3107 3rd Street, Whitehall. Just bear with me if you can't hear me that good. I'm still in Lehigh Valley Hospital in the intensive care unit on oxygen from COVID-19. I just have a question with the pool permits. Are we able, someone able to go to the municipal building to get a pool permit? That's it.
No, wait, you kind of lost me. Can you go back through that again, please?
I'm sorry, I'm in the intensive care unit, Phil, at Lehigh Valley Hospital. I'm positive for COVID-19 with double pneumonia. I'm just trying to find out for my family, can they go to the municipal building to get a pool permit?
There is no pool season this year.
No, to put a pool in.
No, I mean
to put a pool in. I'm sorry.
Mr. Mayor,
If you go to the permit section that you can access from the landing page on our site, whitehalltownship.org, you will find that you can find the permit phase. You can fill it out, send it in with the appropriate required fee, and we'll get it back to you.
Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Okay.
Zach, is there anybody else in the chat bin or anybody there for public comment?
I don't see any chat or Q&A at this point.
Moving on, public hearing and voting on ordinances. Bill number 18-2020. An ordinance deferring the required installation of curbing and sidewalks along the North Church and Spring Street frontages of lot number 1, Lehigh County PIN number 5580441862-1 for a distance of approximately 1,884 feet, 800 feet along Spring Street and 1,084 along North Church Street, as required in Chapter 21, Section 21-16 of the Codified Ordinances of Whitehall Township. Do I have a motion? Do I have a motion? Can you hear me? Do I have a motion?
I'll make the motion, Marks.
Joe. Do we have a second?
I'll second D.
Comments from the board? Any comments from the board? Zach, are there any comments in the chat bit or public comments?
There are none.
There being no further comments, Mr. Secretary, please poll the board.
Commissioner Marks? No. Commissioner D?
Aye.
Commissioner D?
Aye.
Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher?
Aye.
Commissioner Attia?
Yes.
Commissioner Sloniker? Aye. And President Ginder?
Yes.
Passes 6 ayes, 1 nay.
Public hearing and voting on resolutions. Resolution number 3125. A resolution conditionally approving the minor subdivision lot consolidation plan of HPL Realty LP located on North Church Street, Lehigh County, Pennsylvania. Index number 1953-19. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Warren.
Do we have a second?
I'll second, Mark.
Discussion from the board.
Yeah, Phil, I have a question. This is just for a lot line change, and this is not for a building, a residential property being built on the property, correct?
At this point.
Okay, so when it does come back to the board, recreation fees may apply.
Frank?
Not usually. These are two existing lots. So when there's an existing lot, there is no recreation fee.
Well, then I think we should review the ordinance because it does say approval of final plan of a residential subdivision
Right.
or land development, which includes proposed residential units.
Right. But traditionally, we've never collected a rec fee for an existing lot. Okay. And that's the nuance here is that, say you have a 10-acre farm and you carve up 10 1-acre lots, just for sake of argument, you only pay 9 recreation fees because there was a lot there already. And when the recreation plan was developed, that was already considered. So that's the nuance and the difference. So here you have two existing lots. All you do is changing a lot line and you still have two existing lots. So there's no recreation fee for the first house and maybe not even for the second if they don't subdivide it any further.
Yeah, it is a nuance because we're bringing families into the township. So,
Understood.
all right,
Yeah,
thank you.
Again, but all right.
Any other comments from the board? Zach, anything in the chat bin or any public comment there?
There are none.
There are none. There being no further comments, Mr. Secretary, please poll the board.
Commissioner Warren,
Aye.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
Commissioner Sloniker, aye. Commissioner Fisher,
Aye.
Commissioner Atia,
Yes.
Commissioner D,
Aye.
and President Ginder.
Yes.
The Caterpillar motion, that's a, hang on. Resolution passes 7 ayes, 0 nays.
Other motion to approve the release of escrow for completed and withdrawn projects for Deputy Mayor Myers, memo dated May 8th, 2020. Do I have a motion?
I'll move.
Do we have a second?
Yeah, I'll second.
Who was that, please?
Tia.
You get that, Tom?
Yes.
Comments from the board? Any comments from the board? Are there any comments in the chat bin or any public comments showing anywhere?
There are none.
There being none, Mr. Secretary, please poll the board.
Commissioner Sloniker, aye. Atia. Commissioner Atia,
Yes.
okay, Warren,
Aye.
Commissioner Fisher,
Aye.
Commissioner D,
Aye.
Commissioner Marks,
Yes.
President Ginder,
Yes.
motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays.
Number 2 motion to endorse and authorize the mayor of Whitehall Township to extend the real estate gross period and the collection of garbage fees to July 31st, 2020. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion. Fisher.
Do we have a second?
I'll second D.
Discussion from the board.
Are this is something that we can do then? And again, I don't know the nuances of the township code and the state and all how it gets in here on this. So it's something somebody looked up and said it's okay.
This is Jack Gross. Yes, and this is the second time the mayor has done it. He has the authority to do it based on the emergency declaration. As I advised the mayor, we will need to do an ordinance to finally confirm the, to confirm the final periods. So we will probably review, I'll present that for your review and consideration likely at the July meeting first time.
Thank you.
Any other comments from the board? Zach, is there anything laying in the chat room or any public hand raising?
I don't see any. No, there are none.
Being none, Mr. Secretary, please poll the board.
Commissioner Fisher,
Aye.
Commissioner D,
Aye.
Commissioner Marks? Commissioner Marks? Hard to hear you, Joe. I think he said yes. Did anybody hear him?
No, I can't hear him.
Okay, I just heard him say yes.
Okay.
Commissioner Sloniker, aye. Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Commissioner Atia?
Yeah.
And President Ginder.
Yes.
A motion passes 7 ayes, 0 nays.
All right, before we get the reports of the public officials, is there any other business anybody wants to discuss before we move on? I know this is hard to communicate this way, but let's do our best. Okay, there being none, reports of public officials. Commissioner Atia. I can't hear you, Randy.
I'm going to pass my.
Okay. Commissioner Fisher?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. A few quick things. So I just want to mention that, I see that we've moved into yellow, which I think is really good. And it's good to see the businesses coming back into Whitehall. I still want to encourage social distancing. The pandemic is very much definitely not over. And I just checked today, 22 states are still seeing upticks in their coronavirus cases. So wear your masks and be safe. Second thing I want to ask, and this is directed towards Frank Clark. Do we have any update on paving on Bridge Street?
Yeah, we're working with the contractor. He's supposed to be mobilizing next week. So that's where we're at with that. And all the utilities are in. He just got to do some minor grading to the stone base, and then we're ready to go. So that's where we're at.
One question I have, and I guess this might be directed towards Chief Marks. I know there have been a lot of 2 fatal accidents I saw on Macarthur Road in the last month. Have you seen an uptick? Is there an uptick in accidents? The story from National Public Radio a few weeks back was mentioning that people are really driving like idiots right now. What are your thoughts on this or commentary on this?
It's not so much that there's upticks. I think you have a segment of the poor population that's been houses for the past couple months, and once you go out and about, especially an older population, you have problems adjusting again to sight distances and also to speeds and timing and whatnot. And I think there's a lot of different factors in it, but we haven't seen a dramatic increase in our accidents. No.
That's good to hear. The absolute last thing I have, I saw an email that came about from the sewer authority about like solar panels that were, I guess they were going to install on the Eberhard station, but I guess that project didn't come together. So they've offered the panels to the township. If Mayor Heracle's there, are we doing anything with those solar panels? Are there any thoughts on those or?
I have reached out to Frank and asked that he and his crew give us alternatives as to where we may utilize them. And there was a suggestion from in-house that they could be utilized at the canopy at the Public Works building. So that's not a decision that's been made yet, but I would like the opportunity to utilize them.
Awesome. No, that's good news. That's all I got. Everybody stay safe.
Commissioner D.
Thank you, President Ginder. I have a couple things. Commissioner Fisher just touched on one of them. If I'm correct, there have been 3 fatal accidents since our last meeting. And I just want to implore people, please slow down. You hit the nail on the head. People are driving out of control. I understand that because of the stay-at-home order, there were less traffic on the streets. People are driving faster. I guess they think they're able to do that, but please slow down. I think at least one of the accidents involved somebody, I know the chief mentioned it, maybe misjudging, but everybody's trying to beat the lights. Let me reiterate that red means stop, yellow means slow down. It doesn't mean speed up to beat the light. So please slow down. It's not worth it. I wish people took the take that I have, which is I listen to music in the car. It relaxes me, so I don't mind sitting on a light. So please slow down. Let's be safe out there. President Ginder had kind of mentioned at the beginning, thank you to all essential workers out there, as well as our first responders. What's been in my mind the last several weeks has been, and President Ginder did mention it, but you know, the people at the Weiss, at the Giant, in our pharmacies, Corn Fines, Coaches Market, the workers at Walmart, everybody who's been there for us for the last several weeks, I just want to recognize, thank you. They put their health on the line and health of their families to be there so that we can get the essentials that we needed. So thank you to them. I also want to highlight, I know police departments are taking a beating right now. Commissioner Fisher asked me about an incident today. My boss was involved in an accident out on Interstate 78. She was fine, but her tire got shredded. And a trooper from the Reading Barracks showed up, Trooper Fisher, who I'd like to thank. And it was an emergency area. She pulled over into one of those emergency areas in a construction zone. I went out to meet her and I got out and I thought maybe I can change the tire, put a donut on so she can get off at the next exit. And even in a construction zone, when I felt being about 10 feet from the edge of the road, I got back in the car and I says, I wouldn't even touch that till a trooper gets here. And I just kind of have a newfound respect for what our police officers and state troopers do. And it really is an eye opener when, and I even said to Trooper Fisher, every time he steps out of that vehicle on a highway, you know, somebody's not paying attention, somebody's looking at their cell phone, they do take their life in their hands. So I just want to, once again, I know our nationwide police are taking a beating right now, but hats off. They have a tough job to do. So hats off to every one of them. And we appreciate them. They're the first people like today. I couldn't wait till the police officer arrived because I felt much safer. So just tipping my hat to everybody out there who's working and keeping us safe. One last item. I know I keep repeating this, but I just want to highlight the great work of the Whitehall Copley Hunger Initiative and their community outreach program, especially Tom and Sherry Noctor. Last Thursday, they served 182 children, 195 adults, and 73 seniors for a total of 450 residents in the Whitehall Copley School District. The next outreach program, food pickup, will be June 18th, Thursday. And Whitehall, it's at St. John's Lutheran Church on 3rd Street in Whitehall. Lana Snyder works there. Her and her staff are doing a great job. And they're just doing wonderful work, keeping our residents fed. Again, please keep the donations coming. I'm really touched with the generosity of our residents. You could drop off your donation at the Remax building at the corner of Mickley and Schott Avenue. If you have been working, you have some extra income, buy some extra food and drop it off. And there's a lot of people out there hurting. I know a lot are getting back to work, but there's still going to be some missed paychecks for a while. Unfortunately, I know firsthand unemployment has its issues. So we have a lot of hurting people out there, and it's great to see our community come together to help each other out. So that's all I have. Thank you very much.
Before we move on to Commissioner Warren, Zach just informed me that we have a person who just got in on chat and they want to make a testimonial. The name would be Lisa Keeney Ziegenfuss. and Steve Panny. Zach, do you want to patch them in here?
Yep, so I've just unmuted Lisa, and I'm not sure if Steve has gotten in yet. So I'm just unmuting all the call-in users. So if you heard a beep on your end.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So Lisa and Steve, you guys should be live now.
Oh, good. And Dan Dougherty's here. He's going to lead us through testimony.
I guess the first, this is Attorney Dan Dougherty.
Hold on. We've already voted on this.
Well, what was the vote?
Mr. Secretary, which one do you want? The ordinance or the resolution?
The bill.
Bill number 18-2020.
Yes.
That was voted 6 for or aye and 1 nay.
Good, okay.
Thank you. And then the resolution 3125.
That was voted on 7 ayes.
Thank you.
No testimony needed.
We're hanging up.
Does that take care
Sorry
of
about
anybody's questions?
No questions.
All right.
Thank you.
I just had to interrupt to get that out of the way before it got out of control. Commissioner Warren, I'm sorry to interrupt you before.
That's all right. The Lehigh Valley Planning Commission Traffic Improvement Plan for 2021 to 2024 is available on their website, and they're accepting public comment until June 16th. 2 projects I noted on there that are in the near term in Whitehall. One is traffic signal upgrade from 6th Street near Allentown border to Chestnut Street. And my question to Frank, is that just a rework of the signals themselves, or is that also an upgrade of the pedestals?
Okay, I'm sorry, I was doing some other work online here. What was the question about? Was it that Chestnut? What is that?
Like wind chimes or the ice cream man.
Ice cream man. The tip has a project, signal upgrade from 6th Street to Chestnut Street.
Yes, okay. That's it's basically a system of traffic counters that will adjust green time on the corridor based on the traffic load and the volume. Okay, so basically, if you want to think of it as a smart system where it continually monitors the demand, and it does tend to favor the main route. I'm going to caution everybody on that. So you may have a little more backup on the side streets, but again, it monitors that as well. But it's basically referred to as an optimization signal. So it'll allot the amount of green time to the best sequence, if you will, going up and down the corridor depending on the load. So Macarthur Road has always been difficult to do any kind of timing because, you know, you have our morning rush southbound and our afternoon rush northbound, and you really can't time signals for that. So what this system will do, it'll keep track of the traffic flow in all directions and across streets and optimize the green time.
Replacing the pedestals or doing electronic upgrades.
Yeah, they'll have to replace some of the hardware out there, obviously, but that's the main idea of the whole system.
The other thing too is the resurfacing of Macarthur Road from Grape Street to 329.
Yes.
And you know, it's unfortunate that we can't get that median in front of Wawa addressed before they repave.
Oh, I'm working with them on that, believe me. I
mean, that would be a great time to do it. They're there with the equipment going over the area.
No, I'm working with Brian Boyer on that one. So okay. The cute thing about it is that one's in the maintenance division, the other one's design division. So we're trying to get everybody to talk to each other.
Okay, that's great. I mean, it looks like they're getting ready to do some of the work now, but ideally we'd love to have them spend their money to do that.
Oh, absolutely.
Last thing was the sidewalk on Mechanicsville Road.
Right now, PennDOT's looking to approve our language for the deed, and that'll be hopefully settled within the next couple of weeks, and then we can go. So,
Okay, well, the goal is to get it done before the school year starts, and they've had 2 years to deal with that. So can we send them? I mean, it's really sad that we have this project and public safety is at risk, and they're dinking around with paperwork. So I'd like a phone call made to them, and because August is going to roll around, September is going to be here, it's going to be school, and then December is going to roll around, and the excuse is going to be again, the winter, the mills are shut down for the winter. So
we'll be ready.
They had enough time to study it.
Oh, believe me, I know.
All right, thank you. That's it.
You betcha.
Commissioner Marks. Commissioner Marks, you out of the pool?
Guess not.
Okay, I have nothing.
Was that him?
He said he had nothing. That's correct.
He had nothing. Okay. Commissioner Sloniger.
I have the same amount of input as Mr. Marks.
Okay. I just have some brief thank yous. The last few months doing this online as we've been doing it, we got to thank Zach Erb from Integra for helping us through this. He's done a wonderful job with us. This isn't the easiest thing in the world to put together and keep together. But Zach, thank you. I'm just going to do some quick thank yous here. Mayor Mike Carrickle, Deputy Mayor Jack Myers, the Executive Secretary Larissa Bruder, Attorney Jack Gross, Frank Clark, the engineer, all department heads and staff, the police chief, the fire chief and their staffs, the township employees, the Board of Commissioners. Thank you to everybody for holding this thing together the last couple months. We couldn't meet in public and staff had to do their work remotely, so to speak. And, you know, somehow we managed to get this far and get this all done, and it hasn't been that bad. Hopefully in July, we'll be meeting again in the public meeting room. And I just want to do a heads up. There's a lot coming. There's a lot on the plate. It's been pretty quiet lately, so to speak, with what's in front of us. But when this thing opens up, there's going to be a lot on our plate, a lot of catching up to do. And we're going to work together and start weeding our way through some of it. That's all I have. The mayor's report.
One, I want to congratulate one of your own, Commissioner Attia, on being named the athletic director. Are you hearing me?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to congratulate Commissioner Attia on the acceptance of the job as the athletic director in the Allentown School District. He's done a good job everywhere he's been. He's been a principal down at Allen, and for a guy his age to be doing all of this and being a commissioner and running his own business, he's done a remarkable job, and I wanted to congratulate him. I want to congratulate Colleen Gober, who has been putting in at least 80-hour weeks, sometimes more than that, trying to keep things going in the treasurer's office. All three of her employees are at home right now, and she's really, I don't know how she has gotten through this without going crazy, or at least crazier, perhaps. And she's done a wonderful job, and I wanted to congratulate her. Also, the police, incredible job out there. I sent you something about the police and fire departments, what they went through just in 2.5 hours one afternoon. And we are lucky to have not just our police, but our volunteer firefighters out there every day doing their best to help us, and they deserve some recognition. Beyond that, we're looking forward to getting out of this yellow phase and hoping we can move into green, and hoping that as things begin to open up, we do everything we can to get out and get to the small businesses in this township and get them healthy again. It's been a long time, And we hope that we can lift them out of the problems they're having here as a result of this pandemic. And that's about it.
Thank you, Mayor. Treasurer's report.
Colleen was having some trouble getting audio. I'm not sure if she's able to communicate or not. I thought we got her online with her phone.
Just unmute Colleen. Are you there, Colleen?
I'm trying.
There you go.
You got me?
Yep.
I'm hearing you.
Yes,
I'm
we
hearing
do.
you.
Okay. I'd like to thank the mayor for his kind words. I have been working out of control, and I have lost my mind on more than one occasion. Jack Myers can attest to that. He's been great about it all, though. I've been trying really, really hard to keep up with this. We have taken in a reasonable amount of money. I still have a lot here that has to be deposited. I don't know what else to say. I'd like to be able to have every report done, but I don't. And as of Wednesday, I'll be making another distribution to the township. There's more garbage money taken in this year than last year, but I think we're going to end up breaking even on the township, but there's still a lot to be deposited. So it's a good thing the people of this township are, even with everything going on, they are paying their taxes, and everyone has been awesome. I don't get to answer as much as I would like to, but when I do, they are very understanding and very kind. So thank everybody for being supportive of me. It means a lot. That's it.
All right, before we have adjournment, any other points anybody wants to bring up? If not, do I have a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion, D.
Wait a second.
I'll second. Fair.
Meeting's adjourned. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.